Hello, conversationists. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, I say a very big welcome to you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Ross, the place where we have amazing conversations that have the ability to impact our lives positively. So over the last couple of weeks, we've been dealing with Diary of a Sexually Abused Child. Yes, and when you're dealing with certain topics, it makes you want to reflect time and time and time again on how the world is evolving in terms of issues like when issues like that crop up. Yes. But you see, just because that's not what we're going to be talking about today, it doesn't mean that the issue has ended or that we are not going to keep lending our voices to such matters that will make us reflect and ask ourselves questions. How are we involved in the change that we seek? Or are we just sitting on the fence, waiting for some messiah somewhere to come and save us from the situation, right? Yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know what your thoughts are that one. I don't know if you got anything from those videos, but I sure did. And I'm still, it's an everyday work because every now and then, even as we speak, somebody is being sexually abused somewhere. I don't know. Somebody is being sexually abused somewhere. Someone is being targeted. Someone is being groomed at every given point in time. Okay. Having said that, let's look at what we have for today. I just want to focus on our immediate environment, Cameroon and Buea precisely. For the more than 8 years now, we've had what we now term as the Anglophone crisis. Yes, because if you're not a Cameroonian, let me just break that down. We have 10 regions in this country, and 8 regions are mostly French-speaking, 2 regions are English-speaking. So in the 2 English-speaking regions, there's been a crisis for a very long time. And it has brought about a lot of things, a lot of changes, displacement of families. Yes, we got quite a good number of thousands of refugees here and there. People have lost businesses, they've lost lands, they've lost houses, they've lost family, lives have been taken, babies have died, mothers and fathers. Practically at one time, more women in the Northwest, I believe, were the ones digging the graves to bury their own children, their men, their sons. You can imagine that. But I want to bring it now to the current situation that I've noticed in this city of Buea for the past, let's say 4 years, but now it's even worse. And that's why I titled this The Wide Life of Buea Younglins. Younglins as in young ones, young people. People in their teens, people in their early 20s, people in their mid-20s, and above. They're still all young people. It's crazy how this crisis has affected us so bad that even while you walk just on the street during the day or just within street, like the day is so bright, you're scared of what can happen to you. You're scared that if you're not strong, even spiritually, somebody is just capable of bewitching you. Somebody is capable of just doing something to you that you probably just never imagined. It's that bad, it's that sad, but it's the reality. The life is so wild. There's a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking, and not smoking just ordinary cigarettes. Think of opium, think of marijuana, think of any hard drug that you've ever imagined that people take. It's alarming. Then when it comes to sexual escapades, it's on a different level. The young ones are having sex more than even people who are married and in committed relationships like marriage. I think that's the most committed relationship ever. It's on a different level. They're on a whole wide range of sexual escapades. So it's about how many men, women you slept with, how you toast them around in bed. These are conversations they have carelessly around. So even if you're not in their midst, you're just walking back past them, you just get to hear them talk about things like that. Is it the girls? How many boys you've ditched? How many people you've been able to play? Like, it's a cycle. And then I noticed something, especially when it comes to the sexual escapades. We have the tendency in modern day, I don't know if we're calling it a modern thing, and we have this tendency to call having sex with someone a fling. It was just a one night stand. It was nothing. There was nothing there. We just had sex. I don't know where we got that ideology that sex is just sex, right? But that's what's going on. And then we come up to even more of the weightier matters, the level, the rate, the crime rate, and the desperation to become rich, the desperation to make money and squander in this town. Mm, it's on a different level. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not just crazy, it is scary because this is a town that houses not just a university, a state university. It houses many universities, more than 10. It's a small town, yeah. It houses more than 10 universities. It is active. It's one of the few towns that is still very active in terms of education with the crisis because it's been terrible, right? Children are in primary schools and in secondary schools. They're in university. They are training in one center. They're doing apprenticeship somewhere. So when you send your child to a town like this, there's a lot of worry. There's a lot of thinking. What's going to happen? I mean, parents, I can't imagine some of the way they're so skeptical in sending their children here. Because when you're sending a child here, you just can't afford not to worry. Sometimes it's difficult not to worry. I'm not sure how we can start to curtail the situation because you see the drinking, the smoking, the sex escapades. There's a name that has been given to this town that has become, it's so painful, but it looks like it. This town has been given the name Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah. And it's interesting how by just mentioning Sodom and Gomorrah, people who have never really read that story from the Bible will really jump on it and just agree. Like, yeah, oh yeah, it's really Sodom. In fact, they will say it's worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. It's becoming way too much. I don't know. Parents need to stay woke. Guardians need to stay woke. I mean, like spiritually, physically, like do everything possible. And yes, at the end of the day, the child gets to decide what they want because it's like even the people we're considering to be children or we're considering that we're supposed to be guiding them, directing how they live, helping them to better their lives. They seem to have gotten out of control. The life is wilder than wild right now. The things they do, the what would I call it? There's a word that keeps skipping my mind. How daring they are to do the things they do. The experimentation. You see a young boy who is bisexual or homosexual or whatsoever, that is, they try different things. You sleep with women, you sleep with men, the girls, you sleep with girls, you sleep with men, you sleep with what we now call scammers. That's the next thing we're going to be talking about, yes. Okay, that's about it on a minute or two conversation. Let me know what you think on the comment section, yeah? Remember to keep your comments as respectful as always. I'll see you shortly on the occultism and witchcraft.